10 or 15 years, a film is produced that is so overwhelming, so forceful in its impact, that it becomes deeply embedded in the mind.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
Hi, this is Maurice LaMarche, and that name will mean nothing to you nor the sound of my voice, unless I become the brain from TV's Pinky and the Brain, or Calculon, the star of all my circuits from Futurama, or Hitler's also from Futurama. And you are listening to Still Toking With, and you are listening to Still Toking With on the Dorkening Podcast Network.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. You're watching Still Toking With. My name's Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have an incredible show for you, as always. And with us tonight, Benjamin, how's it going, bud?
I'm here. Look at that. Wow.
You are here. You're not here. You're there.
Well, I'm there, but I'm here. Right?
No matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah. So no,
what's with
dude,
the
I'm
creepy
super
fucking trees?
Hey, shut up. Wait your turn. Pack ahead. So no, dude, I'm super stoked about tonight. I mean, our guest tonight is an all-around badass. Just that's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna leave it right there because we're gonna get into all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah, you can't say anymore because
because you'll give it away. I mean,
no. That's Jeff's job is to introduce our awesome guests.
Nobody told me I had a job. I have a job. Really?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with it.
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. It's March 1st, so spring is right around the corner. Although it'll probably fucking snow in April, so based on how this year's been, you know.
Right.
Let's get right into it. Let's welcome Marjean Holden.
Hello.
And you said it right. That's awesome.
For a change.
Well, I was gonna, Marjean, something like that. But
you were gonna do it, but then chickened out. Did you chicken out?
No, I didn't chicken out. I was gonna be like, Holden, like in Texas Hold'em or something.
Texas Hold'em.
You know?
He totally chickened out. He didn't want to get his ass kicked.
I'm on the other side of the country.
Yeah. You're not hard
It's a
to
good
find.
thing.
I tell you,
I'll
run you, but I
find you.
can't do that no more.
Hey.
Oh shit.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I so appreciate being here. It's going to be an awesome show. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You got the cool background going there.
I do. I got my dragons going in the background, and then my fairy lights behind the dragons. So they want to be part of it too.
Absolutely.
The old fairies.
We do not segregate against fairies.
That's right.
With fairies with wings, right?
Yes.
Anyways.
Clarification with wings.
As long as you're not the UK fairies, because they will kick your ass.
Right?
They will. Yep. True.
Why?
What?
Already. Derailed. Just saying.
Wow.
Off track.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Pops.
So it seems to me that you have dubbed yourself the warrior goddess.
Yes.
Why?
Well, that's a good question. Why would you think? What do you think of when you hear warrior? First of all, gonna kick your
Skimpy
ass.
outfits.
Yeah. Well, pretty much. I mean, if you look at the roles I've had, some of them, not much there.
Borderline.
But, I kind of always had this sort of, penchant for kicking ass and taking names and doing all that. And then but you got to be sweet sometimes when you're doing it. So
you kick ass nicely.
yes.
Okay.
As nice as possible.
So for some of
Sounds
our
fun.
guests that are tuning in that don't know who Marjean is and why she kicks ass, you might have seen her in the TV series The BeastMaster. You also might have seen her in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yep.
So there you go. There's just two that she kicked some serious ass in. But if you're like old like me, you might have seen her do cameos in like A Different World, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean,
Wings.
Wings. I know.
Yeah.
Wings.
Jag,
I know.
I love Wings.
The Sinbad Show, Babylon 5. I mean, the list goes on. You can look her up
Deep
later.
Space
But we're
Nine?
gonna do Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space
Sorry.
Nine.
Yeah.
I left
Deep
it for the
Space
Trekkie to bring up
Thank
that.
you.
Sorry.
Thank-
You're welcome. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, the list just really goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So
I've
I
been
guess
fortunate.
Warrior Princess or Warrior Goddess. Sorry,
Warrior Goddess.
Goddess,
Warrior
not Princess.
Warrior Goddess.
Goddess.
The
Well, when
goddess
you-
is above princess, right?
Yeah, you can only be princess for so long, right? And then when you get over 40 something, you got to kind of move up in the ranks. So you can't stay princess forever.
Did
True
you
that.
just jump right over queen?
Well, warrior, goddess, queen, empress, they're empress,
Ooh,
goddess,
empress, I
queen,
like
are kind
that.
of all on the same sort of kind of level, interchangeable per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it.
Well-
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Doc. You make me feel good. I appreciate that.
Well,
The
if you look at Wonder Woman, technically she is a princess and a goddess at the same time. So you can be
Right.
both.
True that. We'll give you that one, Leo,
Yeah.
for a change.
Diana.
Wow.
Mhm.
We got a ton of people in the chat tonight, huh?
Yeah.
They're all here for you.
Awesome. Oh,
Right?
you mean they're here for Jeff? Got it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the
probably-
sexy one, right?
Just the sexy one, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Jesus. God help us.
Hey, I can tell myself that all the time and get away with it.
It's good to say positive things to yourself.
So
Sexy,
speaking of that,
kind,
my very first question for you is: you did a cameo in a movie, and the way that they dubbed you, I just want to know what kind of scream it was.
it wasn't a very loud one. Really, it wasn't very loud.
Was it more like a moan?
It was no. It wasn't. It was just sort of like a that kind of thing. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
Because I that's why I'm not a scream queen, because I do not have a good scream. I could never be a scream queen because, I'm going to have to stick with the warrior goddess thing because, I can wield a sword, but I am not a good screamer. You come at me with like some creature or something like that. Nah, I'm just going to chop their head off. I'm not going for screaming. Nah. Not happening.
Fair
That
enough.
works. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But
I
it
had to
was
get
fun.
that out of the way.
It
So
was fun. Yeah.
I
It was
figured
fun.
you would. That's why I didn't mention it in the beginning.
My ex was a scream queen for a minute there. Wow, Doc, you're telling on yourself for a minute.
yeah, just for a minute.
20 seconds to
No,
get
they make
undressed,
pills
20
for that,
seconds to
Doc.
get dressed. Sorry, Doc. Anyways, let's bring the show back on track here.
Okay, here we go. Yes.
So, not only acting, but you're also a stunt person,
Mm-hmm.
and martial arts fit into your life at one point.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. And from what I was reading, you don't do a lot of the martial arts stuff anymore, but you do like to do boxing and stuff like
Yes.
that. You're still doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I will, I try not to work out as much as possible. So, like, even though when you get to be my age, you're like, that's when you really need to, because, weird stuff starts happening and, hormones diminish.
But that's when it hurts and you scream.
Yeah. So,
hey, we all work out. We all work out over that age. I mean, getting up off the couch to get the remote.
Well, that's true.
I'm
get
just
up,
saying,
sit down, get to the freezer for the ice cream, and I'm
Right.
I'm like terrible. Like I can lift a pint, no problem. I can down every night. It's a problem. It's actually a problem. It's a problem. Yeah.
The 12-ounce curl. Yep.
But
The 12-ounce curl.
The 12-ounce curl. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I don't really do a whole lot of martial arts anymore. I mean, if push came to shove and I had to kick somebody in the head, I'd do it, but I might hurt a lot afterwards.
Right.
After
True.
you fall on your ass trying to kick that high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I do love boxing. Boxing is an awesome workout. Like it's an awesome overall full body workout.
No.
Right?
No. My wife does that now.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and it's really good for women. It's a really good workout for women because, you can just go and take all your frustrations out in the bag and then everybody's safe.
Well, scares the shit out of me.
You should buy her a bag, Jeff.
Yeah, I probably should.
Buy her a bag.
Buy her a bag.
I mean, I don't sing there's a skeeter on my Peter in the shower anymore. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Right in the gutter. Right in the gutter.
Oh, I love when
anyway.
people just shake their heads.
How soon before the show did you take the gummy, Jeff?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Oh,
you haven't taken it yet.
No. I
Once
decided
you've
to
fallen
hold off.
asleep, I mean,
Oh no, I'm good. No, we have
kicking it
my
in.
mother-in-law with us for a couple of days, so I'm trying to be good.
Oh.
That's the best.
Although I might need it just to be able to, be good.
Right.
So, we'll see.
So I do have a question regarding the stunt work. So
Yes.
being a female in the stunt industry, did you find it harder?
Nope.
To get roles? I just was always curious because we don't get a lot of stunt women.
There are a lot of stunt women. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's not something that's advertised a whole lot, right?
True.
So,
right.
I mean, I kind of got into it because I was acting on a show, and the gal who was one of the stunt doubles on the show, her husband came to visit her on set and was like, "Oh, hey, like you're kind of athletic, right? And you're 6 feet tall, yeah, and you're black." I'm like, "Yep." And he was like, "Want to come do some stunts?" And I was like, "Well, what do I have to do?" And he's like, sometimes you don't have to really do anything. Sometimes you just have to fall down, or, I'll help you, do what you do. And I'm like, okay. He worked for one of the big stunt groups called Stunts Unlimited. And a lot of the studios use either the Stuntman's, Stunts Unlimited, ISA, International Stuntmen's Association, or, some of the other groups. And so after he kind of introduced me to a bunch of people, then they're like, "Oh my God, there's a 6 foot tall black stunt woman. Great. Let's use her." Because there were literally at that time, there were only like 4 black stunt women, period. 3 to 4. Wow. And none of them were my height. So there was never there wasn't like this, "Oh, you're going to take a job away from me," really, because if they were doubling actresses, which most of them doubled actresses, because I'm not, there are not any other really tall actresses. There are a couple, I mean, I ended up doubling Aisha Tyler and what's her name? America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
Wouldn't know.
Right.
Yeah. So I ended up doubling those two, and then I just did my own, and just kind of handy to be able to actually do the fight. You know, when I was on BeastMaster, they did have a gal that doubled me, but more so because if I was on main unit and they had to do stuff on second unit, I couldn't be in two places at the same time. So you have to have somebody, right? So Robin was my double on that, Robin Menzies, and you know, but she was blonde. Like they had to paint her down every single episode she worked for me, because she was the same height. Like she was like maybe an inch shorter than me, and you know, similar body type. So she came on and did my stunts when I was not able to do the stuff on another unit. So
No. And you did stunts for both Speed movies, right?
I did. Yeah. That was a blast.
I know those movies pretty well. Which stunts were those?
So I doubled one of the gals in Speed, in original Speed. I doubled the gal that was on the bus. So they had a black gal on the bus.
Yeah.
So I ended up doubling her.
Okay.
And, you know, whenever we were running into stuff or jumping over stuff or you know, doing bus crashing things, all of us were on the bus. And then in Speed 2, we were all passengers. And when they had to drop the lifeboats into the water, I was in there when they dropped it. And then because I was working Mortal Kombat as well at the same time, we had gone a lot longer on Speed 2 than what we were meant to, because there was a hurricane that came in through Florida at that time. And they're like, yeah, we got to take the boat out. And we literally sat in Key West, Florida for a week, not doing anything. But then I was like, oh, I got to go back to work. And the stunt coordinator, Dick Zeiker, was like, well, since you got to go, you can't stay. We're going to have to throw you over the edge. So 2 people fell over the edge. I was one of them.
No.
Swim back.
I was like, oh, this is awesome. I do high falls, not. But I figured, you know, I'm falling into the water. How bad can it be? You know, it's like 20 feet, you know, and at that moment in time, you cannot think about it, because if I would have thought about it, I wouldn't have done it, because I'm not a high faller. I don't do high falls, but I thought, it's into the water. And I also don't do water work, really. So that was about the extent of my high fall and water work all in one job.
Right.
2 in 1.
Yep. Yeah. It was interesting because even though the ship that we were working on, the cruise ship that we were working on, was in the port, because you know how water works, there's a current that happens. So the other guy went overboard first, and then I went over, and by the time he had hit the water and I got overboard, he had moved because the tide or the current had moved. And so like I almost landed on top of him, and I was like, oh, that could have been bad.
Yeah, a little bit from 20 feet.
Yeah.
Only hurt for a minute.
Only hurt for a minute. He was tough.
Just
guy.
a minute.
Probably
Yeah, he only felt it for a minute.
Yeah.
Just land on his head. He'll be good.
Exactly. Wait, what is this? Wait, what? Something happened. She's not a burner either.
What's that mean?
No,
Pops?
I am not. I'm not a burner either.
Probably a cannabis smoker.
Oh,
I'm not.
I think that's where he was going with that. I think,
Yeah.
unless maybe means you don't get lit on fire. I don't fucking know.
Oh
It's
wait,
hard to
there's a
decipher,
question up
Pops.
here. Do you have to join the guild? Did you have to join the guild? Doc, yes, I did have to join the guild. I qualified for SAG for the guild with my role, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, okay.
That's how I got into the union, was my role on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It was the very first thing that I had ever spoken in. on camera.
Mhm.
So pretty cool place to start.
Right? Great cast.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
great cast.
Now, I
in that
also
show.
read that you're not really a fan of horror, but yet you were in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Right. And John
How'd that
Carpenter's
happen?
Vampires. And
Yeah.
Blade. I did stunts on Blade. Yeah, I'm not a huge horror fan. I don't watch a lot of horror films, even though most things that are out now seem like horror because they're pretty bad. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I was not a huge fan of horror, and then working on Mortal Kombat, met the stunt coordinator Jeff Yamada, and then he ended up not finishing coordination on Mortal Kombat, but then went on to coordinate for John Carpenter and Sandy King, and he did all of their productions. And so when Vampires came around, he sent me a message and called and said, "Hey, do you want to do a fire burn on John Carpenter's Vampires?" And I was like, "Nope."
Nope.
Nope.
No thanks. Oh, it's not going to be that bad. I'm like, it's fire, and I don't do fire. I am not the fire burn girl. Not gonna happen. Sorry. And he was like, "Oh, well, hold on." He goes, "Well, just come in and bring your stuff for Sandy and John, and I'll take it into the meeting." So he took my picture and went back and showed him my pictures and everything. And he came back out and he goes, "Okay, no fire burn, but they're gonna make you one of the masters." And I was like, "Okay, really? Okay, I guess." I don't know what that means, but sure. All right, I'll be a master vampire. Cool. Right on. And I didn't even think anything of it because, when you're going for interviews and auditions and whatever, they always say, yeah, we love you, we love you, we love you. And then you never get a call. But by the time I had gotten home, that was back in the day when you had a pager. Yeah. My pager was going off and I'm like, "Oh, I better make a phone call. Like, who's this?" And they're like, "Hey, can you come in for a fitting? And hey, can you come in for your teeth fitting and for your contact fitting and this and that?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I got the job." And they're like, "Yeah." So that's how that happened.
No, you didn't get it. We're just going to fit you for the stuff.
We're just going to fit it for everything.
Right.
It's all right.
So was it fun being a bloodsucker?
It was a blast. We had so much fun. I mean, because Sandy really did it right with the master vampires, We're all like kind of glam, like this goth glam, super hot, sexy vampires, right? And it was just like, wow, you're not just some, run of the mill vamp, right? Here, you're kind of a major badass. Kind of liked it. It was fun.
Hence, like I said at the beginning of the show,
yes,
our guest tonight is an all-around badass.
Right. So they didn't get to light you on fire, but they sure did make you a hot commodity.
They did. It was really
Where's
fun.
the button, Leo? Where's the button? Yeah, give him the... Anyway.
And not to be one of those people, but technically Blade is a Marvel movie and not really a horror movie.
Right. True.
Leave it up to you to bring Marvel into the mix.
It's vampires.
Well, he's right. Yeah.
It is.
I know. He's always
It was
right.
actually one
He's
of the
Leo.
first Marvel movies, wasn't it?
That's 98.
Was it?
No, I think Spider-Man was before that. I'd have to double check. And Blade's coming back.
Hey, gotta resurrect them, right?
Oh yeah.
I thought they just naturally come back.
It's like Hank Azaria in Night at the Museum, where he's like, "I've come back."
I'll be back.
Or I'll be back. Yes.
Wow.
The Arnie thing,
Okay.
the Hank Azaria thing.
So you're not a horror fan, but you love fantasy.
Yes. I love fantasy, sci-fi, fantasy, that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there is that certain appeal, like I said, about the whole vampire thing. I mean, we worked at night, and it's like as soon as the sun goes down and the makeup's on and the teeth are in and the eyes are in and everybody's kind of like, ooh, the vampires are on set. It's like, yes, we are. You know, it was
So it's kind of like role playing at that point.
totally, yeah.
It's actually pretty awesome.
Right.
And actually, Pops, you are incorrect. Punisher was the first rated R Marvel movie.
Punisher was, huh?
Yeah, and Blade was actually the 5th Marvel movie, the first being Howard the Duck. And
Howard
that was a
the
great-
Duck.
1986.
That was a great
You
movie.
can't count the fucking duck, man. It don't count.
Why not? The duck was kick ass.
And he's in the Marvel universe now. They brought him back.
Did they really? Ugh.
Dude,
Yeah.
don't rank on Howard. Howard kicked ass. Just
Yeah.
saying. But anyway, the show's not about Howard. Okay, Leo's right again.
Leo's right again.
So just to back up a little bit, talking about Speed 2 and the stunt work on that. Now, that fall wasn't done on a set. It was done actually in the Keys. So what's the process with that? Like you're filming in the ocean. Well, you said it's in dock, but it's still in the ocean. Is there like somebody there checking to make sure there's like no sharks or anything? Is it like a protected area, or is it just like
Well,
everything will jump?
I think in where the boats are docked and where the ships dock, it's pretty high traffic. So there's not a whole lot of activity, maybe. I don't know. This is just the story I'm going to tell myself so that I don't think about it. Because didn't even think about it in the middle of the night, falling off the edge of the boat if there's going to be a shark. But they have safety boats. Like they have a water safety team. And so as soon as we went in, and they were like, they were like, get them out of the water. It's like, there could have been an urgency there on that because I don't know, maybe there could have been sharks or something, but
saltwater gators. I mean, could have been anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, could have been anything, but as soon as they said, get them out, I wasn't going to hang around and find out, but it's interesting doing stuff like that because, I worked on BeastMaster with friggin' tigers and, there's a whole list of rules when you work with big animals, so especially predators like tigers,
Right.
It's like no loud noises, don't run, don't make eye contact, don't like all kind of stuff, right? Like, did you just eat, some meat, that you just got to be super careful. So, the first day I show up, the first day I showed up on set, first day I had to work with the tigers. And so they're like, here's the rules, blah, 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 don't run, don't do this. So I'm like, shit, right? And they're like, okay, great. Now say your dialogue and run off camera. And I'm like, you literally just gave me a sheet of paper that says don't run in front of the tigers. And now you're telling me to run in front of the tigers. I'm like, yeah, someone needs to really explain this to me because like, seems like a contradiction and I'm not sure like what I'm supposed to do here.
The rules didn't apply to you.
Can tell I'm like terrified. I'm like super stiff. My acting's really stiff. I'm like side eye and the tiger like what? Just run.
So I'd be like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Yeah, they're super. I mean, they were super sweet until one of them ended up mauling, the handler.
Oh,
Didn't end up so good.
Not so good.
Yeah.
That was a bad day for him.
It was a really bad day for both of them.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it don't take much. I mean, the way that those things would play, they can kill you.
Right?
Yeah, it was crazy. But it was beautiful. It was fun. It was a great experience.
So do you have a favorite fantasy movie?
Oh God, my favorite fantasy
Bastard
movie.
beat me to the question.
Let's see. Oh God, what is my favorite fantasy movie?
I mean, mine's rated X, but yours don't have to be.
Okay.
Yeah, right. God,
Why?
I don't even know. Like, shit.
Well, let's change up the question if you don't
Think
mind,
about
Jim.
that.
You
Yeah.
know,
No, be like
so we
it.
don't paint her into a corner there. So BeastMaster, BeastMaster was at a time when there was a plethora of fantasy shows on TV.
Yes.
So not including BeastMaster, which was awesome. If you had to pick between Xena and Hercules, which was out about the same time, which would you choose?
God. I'd probably say Xena, just because the whole chick thing, right? But, they shot in New Zealand right next door. So I would have taken either of them, really, because they were the same universe. So I was like, yeah. But I never even auditioned for it, which sucked. It was a drag.
Right.
Like, everybody I know worked on Xena or, Hercules, but not me.
No, you
That's
were
'cause
in BeastMaster.
I was going to say this because you had
I'm going
BeastMaster.
to BeastMaster. But no, I mean, Xena and Hercules ran for like 7-8 years each, right? We only ran for 3. So there's plenty of time.
Right.
Really? Stop.
Stop eating.
Oh, I don't know. I'm only live. Stop making noise. It doesn't matter if I'm live or if we're recording it. We're recording it. They can still hear you. Go ahead. Make a lot of noise.
Oh, but we are, by the way, we are live
Right?
Yes, we are live.
on 22 platforms worldwide.
22 platforms. We're live.
Worldwide.
Can everybody hear my kid?
Yeah.
She's going to be upset. She's so mad at me right now. So mad. She's like,
it's dinner time.
That's
And
hilarious.
that's only my kid. Only my kid. He's got the bag of chips in the background just.
Hey, Mom, you want some cheese?
Oh, Christ.
God.
But you know what? This is the thing. I am so glad that she's the way she is because she's an independent thinker. She's one of those go fuck around and find out kind of kids. She's like, nah, I'm not down with that. No, I do not. Thanks,
nah, dinner
now
time was
she's
a
trying
half
to feed
hour
me.
ago.
I love
I'm
her.
eating the chips.
She's like, do you
Oh,
want some
boy.
cheese, Mom? No, thanks. I'm good. Yeah, Vic, you heard that.
Yeah, the whole world heard it.
Oh
but
my
it's
god.
great.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, I mean, your resume is huge between TV and film.
Yeah.
On the film side of things, what were one of your favorite sets to work on? You don't have to
let's
say
see.
it
One
was
of
your
my
favorite.
favorite-
One of your favorites.
One of my favorite sets. Vampires, even though I'm not into horror, Vampires was one of my funnest, and Mortal Kombat was one of the funnest. And let's see, as far as like just straight up when I've done stunts, oh gosh. Blade was a blast. Blade was a lot of fun. And Speed was such a good time. We
Nice.
really had a good time.
Now I'm going to flip that on you on the TV
Okay.
side. On the TV side of things, what were some of
TV
your
side of
favorite
things.
sets?
Okay, let's
Because
see.
you did a ton of shit in the TV side.
Yes. I loved doing the live shows, like the comedies, right? So any of the comedies, they were always kick ass. Fresh Prince, so much fun because, I mean, just I got to work with Will, and you know, at the time, like Winifred Hervey was the producer of the show. My brother was actually working on the production team, which is how they found me.
Very cool.
Because he used to, everything that he worked on, he used to put my picture up in his cubicle, right? Because he worked, he was always the assistant production coordinator or something. And they'd always walk by, oh, who's that? Well, that's my sister. She's an actress. Oh my God, we'll have to bring her in to read. And he's like, yeah, okay. And they'd always, ultimately, any show that he worked on, they would bring me in to read. And he was working on the Fresh Prince, and they brought me in to read for The Perfect Wife, which was completely different than everything else I'd ever done, because it had to be sort of like June Cleaver. And I was like, oh, I hope I can do this, But as soon as that, the costume was on and everything is like, oh my gosh, So Fresh Prince was a blast.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I asked all my questions. I'm done. No, I'm just kidding.
And the show is over.
Yeah, you guys got to kill 20 more minutes. Go ahead. Knock yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
So, if I read this correctly,
which you didn't,
what alien race do you think you are?
What alien race? Alien or intergalactic? Because I definitely like. Do you follow the Pleiadians or any of those dimensional beings?
They can be dimensional. Dimensional is alien.
Yeah, definitely a Pleiadian or. I really wanted to play like either a Vulcan or a. What were the other ones on Star Trek?
Ferengi.
Romulan.
A Romulan. I wanted to be a Romulan. And I just never got the auditions for the Star Trek shows, except for the one audition for Deep Space Nine.
Star Trek's still going strong. You still have a chance.
I know. I just have to get past the casting director. I could still be a bad guy, in the Star Trek universe.
I think Romulans are the bad guys for the new season of Picard. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, supposedly
sending my stuff.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the trailer. It looked like they were bringing back one of the old Romulan characters from Next Generation.
Right. So awesome. You prefer to be the bad guy?
I do. I like it. I love being the bad guy. I mean, unless I want a gig that's, ongoing, then, like when I first got on BeastMaster, I was a bad guy. And at the end of season 1, they were like, hey, you're kind of doing really good in the ratings and we really like you. So we're going to make you a good guy now, because if we keep you a bad guy, we're going to have to kill you. So, because bad guys always die.
Not necessarily.
Most of the time, they die.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
It'd be a good twist to see the good guy die once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. That happens. That has happened. But I do like playing the bad guy, because then I can just take it all out, within the context of the character. And, it's kind of fun.
But you have that style where you could be, the sexy good guy, and then all of a sudden the Black Widow comes out and it's over. Yeah. That would be cool too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun stuff. I mean, it really is.
Just why does it have to be the sexy good guy? Why can't it be the sexy bad guy? I'm just curious.
Well, no, it doesn't.
I can do either.
No, because the bad has to come out afterwards. You've got to lure them in with the sweetness. And then
actually, nowadays, a lot of villains are making the change over to good guys. Look at Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was a bad guy, and now she's a good guy.
Well, because they don't want to have to kill her.
No, because she's gained so much in popularity.
They don't want to have to kill her. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, Pops, you're right. Klingon.
Yeah.
Klingon. It's the Klingons. Yes.
Klingon.
See, Pops, you're right once in a while.
Tony Todd played a Klingon. Klingon.
Klingon.
A Klingon?
Klingon.
What the hell are you drinking?
I am the King on. The ultimate King on.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you have a podcast yourself?
Not yet. We're working on it, right,
But
Pops?
I heard you were starting something. Do you want to
We
talk
are
about
starting
that?
something.
Or do you want to keep
are.
that hush hush?
You know, it's up to Pops if he wants me to talk about it.
Yes, I'm looking at the chat, Pops. Can she talk about it?
Gonna wait for it. Wait.
Tick, 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 tick. Don't worry, Pops. We only got about 15 minutes left, buddy. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it drop. If Pops, when we have the date,
When they have a
announce it.
date,
That's
we
not
will
what I
announce it.
said.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready. As soon as Sim's ready to go, he's got a bunch of stuff to create. So as soon as he's got that the first little bit ready to go, our intro and all that stuff, we'll be
Very
ready to
cool.
roll.
Look forward to that. And when it does drop,
When it
Pops,
does drop,
when it does drop, Pops, where can people find it?
yes.
We'll wait.
Really.
We'll wait for the response. I mean, I know where it is, but I want him to type it in the chat so people
Yeah.
can see.
Tell everybody where we're going to be at.
Come on, I know you can type faster than that.
Yeah. As soon as he tells me, we will
promote the
pull
hell
out
out
of
of
it.
it.
Yes, we
Yeah.
will.
Okay, Pops. Way
Yeah.
to backpedal there, pal.
Little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. No,
Very
that'll
well
be
bet.
fun. That'll be fun. I did hear about that before.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be a
I
blast.
heard about it.
Yeah.
So I want to spin this outside of film and television for a minute.
Okay.
And talk about something that I read that I thought was really interesting, and that's that you've worked with combat veterans in the past.
In
or
the past. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well, and it's
but in
funny
the-
because the answer to that is yes, Vic. That's in the works actually right now. So it was so many years ago. And then when I moved, I live in Wyoming. And now that I'm here in Wyoming, I do work with vets. Like I literally work with them because I work part-time at a gun range.
Mhm.
So a lot of the guys that work at the range are veterans.
Mhm.
And, you know, I love working with, you know, anyone that's been in the military, anyone that's been in this, in those capacities. And, you know, I teach a lot of seminars and have for the last 16 years. So anytime somebody came across, you know, in one of my seminars that was military, it was always really awesome to be able to see what was happening with them after their time of service.
Mhm.
And I teach a lot of personal growth stuff. So one of the courses that I teach is called Discover Your Sacred Gifts. So one thing that I notice about those who have been in the service and, you know, veterans, they all have the gift of service, or most of them have the gift of service, because there's
Right.
24 sacred gifts. The gift of service is one of them. And anyone who has the gift of service is usually in the capacity of serving somehow. And they say it like, how can I be of service? Like, I don't have the gift of service. So when I'm working or, you know, speaking or training or doing something like that, you know, people are like, oh, you must have the gift of service. You must have the gift of teaching. I'm like, nope, I do not have the gift of service, and I don't have the gift of teaching, right? I have the gift of encouragement, and it's a coaching gift. So it's natural for me to coach people from wherever they're at to where they want to be. And that's where my warrior comes in, because I was teaching a course called Enlightened Warrior Training Camp. So I had to be in a certain level of masculine warrior energy to do it, but then I have the feminine side that gives people a safe space to be able to open up and be vulnerable, right? So that they can move through whatever story is holding them back, this, that. And I'd have one of the first courses I taught, first Enlightened Warrior training camps I taught down in Malaysia in 2010. In the very front row, there was a guy who literally for 3 days gave me the evil eye, stink eye for 3 days. And I was just like, what is this guy's story? And this guy was huge. He was like 6'2", just muscles. Like his warrior name was Goliath. So kind of went with the body type. And so I thought, oh God, what is this guy's story? Like, what is his story? And so I'd always, turn it into a teaching moment, because super exciting and very, very fun for me to say, hey, like, how many of you were surprised, to see a woman teaching your Enlightened Warrior training camp, and a couple of people's hands would go up, surprised. Yeah. Cause nobody wanted to admit it. And then I'd ask, and how many of you were just plain pissed off? And because people don't want to tell the truth and admit it, one guy raised his hand, and it was him, and I looked him dead in the eye and I said, thank you for your honesty. And from that minute, he was just like, oh. But he was a captain in the Malaysian army. And I thought, okay, this is cool. But at the end of the camp, he was just like right here in the palm of my hand, because he experienced things outside of that structure that he was never able to experience before. He was able to actually, show his emotions outside of that world where he wasn't deemed as weak for showing the emotions.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's really cool. And I love that kind of stuff. Like, it's amazing for me, right, to watch that kind of transformation. So.
Wow. And that's kind of what your book is all about too.
Exactly. Yep. That is what my book is all about, to
empower like that
women. Yeah.
I like how you did. Yeah, I like how you did that. You kind of see, I just spiral and just right into that. Good job, Jeff. I'm going to give you an A+ for that one.
Yeah.
Keep the train on the tracks.
It's the no gummies. That must
be no gummies, man. He's sharp.
It's something.
Boom. Yeah. So that's on Amazon if anyone wants to go see my book, the Power of the Goddess book.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, we're like 51 minutes in, and Leo, I'm just really upset with you right now.
You always are.
Where can they find out about our amazing guest and all this amazing stuff?
As always, you can check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, to find out about Marjean and her awesome work. We had a question come in. Joanna was asking about your time on Deep Space Nine. So she's just getting into the show. What character did you play, and what was your favorite part about being on set?
So I played a character by the name of Stoltzov in an episode called Empok Nor. And one of my, first of all, just my favorite part was actually getting to be on the Star Trek show and wear the uniform. I was like, finally, I get to put the uniform on, and, it's always color coded. So whatever uniform you have on, it's like, well, that one's going to die. Right? Like in Galaxy Quest, when he's like, my name is Guy. I don't even have a last name. I'm going to die. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I don't have a last name. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Well, then what's my last name? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, see, I'm going to die. So, yeah. I knew. I was like, okay, even if I have to die, I still want to be on a Star Trek show. So, and I did. I died. But I got to be on the Star Trek show, and it was cool. So
that is awesome.
And it was awesome because the stunt coordinator on the show, Dennis Matalone, his name was Danger Matalone, and he was just an awesome dude, and stunt team was really great, and the producers were really great, and the director was amazing. Michael Vihar, he's the one that actually, when I went into audition, Michael Vihar was the director, and he was like, yeah, I like that girl. I like her. Let's give her, right? Let's give her a part. And he ended up being the director on Crusade, the pilot of Crusade, and was responsible for really weighing heavily on the actors that would be leads on the show. And I had just literally a couple of months before worked with him and auditioned for Crusade. And he was like, yeah, her for the doctor, her for the doctor. I was like, this is really cool. This is awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Right?
So yeah.
So when you put the Star Trek uniform on for the first time, you're all excited to get to be on Star Trek.
So
Did you go, beam me up, Scotty?
I don't think I did.
No, because I could picture you doing that.
I know. I was like, beam me up, Scotty. No, I actually didn't, but it was cool. And I was just like, I felt so professional, and they did the whole rolling of my hair. It was all very professional and all up. And I looked very, very so super Space Academy. Right.
Space Academy-ish. Yep.
Yeah, very much so.
And
Bring back the aliens.
Hate to point this out, Jeff, but if you were saying beam me up, Scotty, you wouldn't tap your chest because that was Next Generation. And a forward.
I don't fucking care. Oh, they used a little thing. They had to use the little thing.
Tricorder. It's called the tricorder.
No, the tricorder was that's what the doc used to see what was wrong with you, wasn't it?
It's the tricorder was a scanner, yes. It's communicator.
The communicator, yes.
The communicator.
The original flip phone.
Yeah.
You do realize the Trekkies are going to be hating on us after this, right? Just saying. You guys
don't hate me because don't hate me because I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh no! They're not. They don't hate on
very
our
open-minded, very communal, very very loving people.
She would be calling Captain Cisco.
Yes, I would be calling Captain Cisco.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
Really?
Who would you like to work with that you haven't had the chance yet?
Ooh, who would I like to work with that I haven't had the chance yet? Ooh, God. I'd have to say, right now, definitely Hercules, Kevin Sorbo, because I like him.
Sorbo. Okay.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. That I haven't gotten to work with yet, because I was just going to say James Woods, but I'm like, oh wait, you worked with him on Vampires. It would be really nice to work on one of those big James Cameron movies. It'd be kind of cool. Well,
there's another 4 Avatars coming out, so
right.
It'd be really nice. But right now, television-wise, I'd really like to work with Taylor Sheridan because he is the man of the decade right now. I'd love to work with him because he's a horse guy, and I actually met somebody here that had met him and was like, oh, he's so super humble and he's super sweet. And I was like, that makes me really happy to hear that because, I've experienced a lot in the film industry. And for somebody to have that many shows that are that successful, to have somebody who's not even into the film industry, nothing like that. And she's like, he's so humble and he's so sweet. She goes, you'd never even know he was who he is if you didn't know who he was. Because it's not like he's a horse guy, right? He's just out there on his cutting horse doing his thing. And that's super cool. I'd love to work with him because he's super creative too.
Keeping his feet on the planet. Yeah.
Yes.
And he totally, reinvented a genre that has been gone for 80 years,
Yeah.
Westerns are back and they're back hard.
They're back hard.
Yep.
I mean, not only that, he's got a whole new spin on the prison world too, with the Mayor of Kingstown.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's his show.
That's a great show too.
And it's a great show.
Yeah. Are you all caught up on Yellowstone? On the
I'm not. I'm on like episode 5.
of the main
Of the
series.
new season.
Okay. Oh,
She's like,
okay.
Of actual Yellowstone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
But-
way behind, Leo.
I'm
Okay.
way behind on that one.
Have you given 1923 a try?
Yep. All caught up on that one.
Nice.
Yep. And he's got a new one that my girlfriend just called me a couple weeks ago. She goes, "You have to call them, or you have to try to get your stuff in on Bass Reeves." So yeah, my girl Tracy Scoggins, she called and was like, "You have to send your stuff in. Bass Reeves is one of the coolest dudes ever." He was the first black marshal in Texas.
Wow. So is that going to be 1944 or whatever?
No, it's actually called Bass Reeves.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
So
Didn't hear about that one yet.
yeah,
So-
shooting another one in Texas.
So he has like 3 series coming out now because he I mean he has the 1860 something that's still going. They're filming season 2 right now. 1923 is still going. Yellowstone's still going.
Still going.
They announced the 1940 something show.
Yep.
They're doing a show on the 4 6s.
Yep. The 4 6s. Yep.
And then I think there's an unnamed show because Yellowstone might be ending due to Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
universe just exploded.
Just massive.
Right.
Massive.
Very
So
Like, welcome to the Wild Wild West.
So we got about 5 minutes left. If anybody else has questions or comments, you got to get them up now. Otherwise, you snooze, you lose. But
Post
I
them
know
in-
I'm going to let Leo do what he wants to do.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
know
Well, I
he's
got
been
a
waiting.
couple. I got a couple. So
Go for it.
for Mortal Kombat Annihilation, did you do any prep work before that? Like, did you play the game? Were you a big game player?
I wasn't a big game player, but as soon as I auditioned for it, I started playing the game because I wanted to see what the character was all about and how she moved and all of that good stuff, right? So it was kind of like, oh yeah, let's actually get into the game and play the game, right? Play your character, so at least you know something about the character. I had seen the original movie, and then had just started playing the game after that. Yeah.
Nice. And so we know you enjoy boxing, martial arts, acting. When you're not doing that, what do you dork out about? Like, what's something that you do like on the side that like nobody knows about except like your family and friends and whatnot? Like, we had Bruce Valanche on, and turned out he liked studying like sunken vessels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what's something that you dork out about?
Well, I totally dork out about the spirit world, like spirituality and healing and that kind of stuff. So I went and became a certified theta healer to help people move through their subconscious blocks. I love shooting guns. So I do that.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I got the 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny because it's like I said, I work at a range and we're, we do a lot of package shoots. So people will come in, not so much in the winter, but we're a huge tourist attraction in the summer. And so it's the Cody Firearms experience, and people come in and they shoot packages, and we have over 70 different firearms, 75 different firearms that they can actually choose from to shoot, anywhere from flintlock to fully automatic. So,
Oh man, I need to know where this place is.
Yep.
Because we're going to end up doing a convention there sooner or later, Jeff, and I am going shooting.
Yes. Yeah.
Because see,
So it's
I live in
really
Mass.
fascinating,
We can't shoot anything. It's semi-automatic.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you guys are.
I haven't shot since I was a kid.
It's so much fun. Like there's that, and then the thing that most people don't know, I like to bake.
Really?
Yeah, I love to bake. If it's your birthday and you live close to me, I will be baking you a birthday cake because I love to bake.
Infused?
No, because that, like, look, my ex-boyfriend grew right? He grew. And his whole family were from that whole world. And when I met him, he was like, I said, oh, like, what do you want to do with your life? And he was like, yeah, I just want to grow pot and, you know, that's it. And I was like, can you make any money doing that? Like, naivety. Make any money growing pot? How do you make money growing pot? And he was like, yeah. I was like, just give me like a rough roundabout, like what you could make, you know, a year. He's like, well, in a bad year, about this much. And I'm like, I'm in the wrong business.
Right?
I'm in the wrong business. And it was fascinating because his whole family, you know, were cannabis growers, and they didn't smoke it. They just grew it and sold it. And it was fascinating to me because it's such a science. The science part of it really, really fascinated me because he was out there trying all kinds of different mixtures of, you know, feeding the plants. And I'm like, well, what is in that? Because it smells nasty. Right? He's like, oh, that's fish food. And I'm like, ugh.
Fish food, bat guano. Yep.
Right? Yeah, bat guano, chicken crap. And I'm like, so will that work on my garden? He goes, yeah, everything but the chicken poop. You cannot put that on your garden. It'll fry everything. you know, cannabis is a little bit resilient to it, but nah, you need rabbit poop. And I was like, okay. He's like, lots of nitrogen. So, but no, I love to bake. It's not so much cooking, but I like baking. I like baking pies and cakes and cookies and cupcakes and all that kind of stuff. Love it. My grandmother gave me a cookie book when I was like 5 years old, and I still have the cookie book. Wow. Old Betty Crocker cookie book. And I still use the recipes out of her. It's very hard for me to like put shortening in anything anymore, but I'm like, oh my God, this is like pure, like plastic. It's disgusting. Like pure petroleum. Put that in there. It makes it taste great. Just like,
that was back in the day, though. You know, I mean, my mom used to make macaroni and cheese, and she used leftover bacon fat.
Yes, yeah, which is fine because that's animal fat. Which the myth is now that the myth was, oh, animal fat's horrible for you. Well, all that's unraveling too. Don't get me started. Yep. But Lord, I'm like, shortening. What is that made out of? I don't even think they know what it's made out of. But for whatever reason, it bakes well.
It makes those cookies taste so much better.
So much better. It's like
so much better.
Oh my God.
Well, that's like if you bake something and you use unsalted butter instead of regular butter. That'll really fuck things up.
Yeah.
Right.
Or in Leo's case, you use infused butter and you lick the spoon too many times.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
That fucked me up. Holy shit.
Yeah. Me and Leo have both been there.
Yeah, see, some of us are just smarter than that.
Yep, making cannabis butter.
Hey, it was my first time, but
at
least I got a religious experience out of it, you know.
I bet you did.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I swear, time travel is real, and I
it is. You were in another dimension.
Oh my God, it was so messed up. It was like I would live 30 seconds, and then I would go back in time that 30 seconds and like wash myself out of my body. Like
live that 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But on that
note, the whole time you were actually sleeping.
Right.
No. We were supposed to do a podcast, and it didn't end well.
No,
it didn't end well.
It started off great.
It just ended. Period. Like,
yeah, he woke up 3 days later. Did I do that podcast or not? Fuck.
I'm not quite sure.
Got to go online and see if it's there.
Yeah.
But on that note, I know Leo's got another show tonight, so we don't want to keep Marjean. And I know Marjean's dog is hungry because I heard the chips ruffling. So, Leo.
Sorry,
Yeah,
honey.
I'll do my thing. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. For me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could not be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run the Dorkening Podcast Network. We got a ton of shows on the network. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. Head on over to thedorkening.com. You can find more about us there. And Marjean, where do you like people interacting with you on social media?
Either on Instagram under the goddess Marjean, Marjean Holden. Everything's under Marjean Holden. So, or over on Facebook, my Facebook fan page, Marjean Holden Fans. I do a lot of interacting over there. So those are the two best places to catch me.
Awesome. Instagram and Facebook. And we have those links in the show notes. Jeffrey.
Oh, I didn't need you coming. I'm going to do that next. I want to thank Marjean. Thank you very much. It was a fantastic show. It was an honor and a pleasure to chat with you. As far as we go, just go to stilltoken.com or Token with the Dead on Facebook. Don't look me up. Look up Ben or Leo or Marjean or something. You don't want to know anything else about me.
Benjamin.
He's right, though, folks. I have to travel with him on the road. So, yeah, you don't want to know anything about him. But, no, like Jeff said, stilltoking.com. You know, check out the Dorkening Podcast Network. Head over to Comic Related Madness as well. You know, you see them in the chat over here. Thank you to Marjean for coming out and hanging out with us. I had a blast. I think everybody else did. But to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
There we go.
Bye,
And
everybody. Thank
Marjean,
you, guys.
Yeah, hang on until everything runs out for the recording.
Go, and we'll be just 30 seconds. We'll be right back.
So come on.